Hello guys, I'm Sai Kumar. In this video, we are going to learn about Wi-Fi based substation monitoring, controlling and protection using thingspeak and blynk app in matlab. So, if you want to test a substation at different conditions, hardware is a difficult. Everyone knows that. And now, by utilizing the MATLAB Simulink model, we can perform all the tests on substation without any difficulties which we face on hardware. So, going with the procedure of doing this project. Okay. Now, first we need to build a MATLAB Simulink model in MATLAB software. Okay. Here is I already built one for you. In this substation, there are three incoming lines. Uh, those are represented with the sources. Okay, and each source has its own circuit breakers, which is a source circuit breakers for each sources. And here is the bus one, which is interconnection of these three sources at substation. From the bus one, we are connecting transformers. We are using three transformers for connecting three buses, three lines from bus 1 to bus 2. The bus 2 will be here. This is the bus 2, and the transformer input side and output side there are circuit breakers to protect them from any problems. In bus 2, we are having four loads. At bus 2, we are having four loads, which are the outgoing loads for the substation. And each four loads has their own circuit breakers. We are going to control those four circuit breakers in our project. And these are here there are the four loads, and these are for measurement, and these are the measurement of RMS value. Now, after building this substation model, now we have to create two channels in thingspeak platforms. Here I created two channels in thingspeak platform. Now, after creating these platforms, you have to build a blynk app in blynk application. Here I built for you one, and there you have to place four switches. And in thingspeak app, in first channel you have to create four charts, and second channels you have to create four charts. After creating these applications, here in MATLAB you have to write a code in MATLAB function block, where from here the measured data, the RMS values of currents which we are measuring, will be sent to thingspeak channel number 1 here in channel number 1 Sahim. Okay, and now we have to create one more MATLAB function block where you have to program in such a way that it receives the data from my thingspeak channel 2, and after that you have to write another programming for signal conditioning, so to match the required data for circuit breaker control. After building this, now you have to write a program in Arduino IDE. In Arduino IDE, we have to write a program to interface ESP8266 with all two ThinkSpeak channels and one Blink application. This is the procedure. After completing the procedure, let's see how this works. entire system how this works. The measure parameters which are here, these values will be sent to thingspeak channel number 1, channel number 1. Okay, and these thingspeak channel number data will be received by the ESP8266. ESP8266 will perform certain like a condition measures, like it will check with the set parameters, and it will check the abnormalities in the system. After checking the abnormalities, it will send the required signal to thingspeak channel number 2. thingspeak channel number 2 here. These are the switch signals for the circuit breakers. The ESP8266 will send the switch signals only when it is required. And after that, here in MATLAB simulation, the channel 2 data will be received by this MATLAB function. This MATLAB function block will receive the data, and after signal conditioning it will send the data to the circuit breakers which we are connected here, so that it can disconnect or connect the loads which are faulty, or if any problems happening there. After that, now the final objective of our system is to control the substation, right? To controlling the substation, it depends on the user requirement. If a user required, like if a user need to like switch on or switch off the load 1, or switch on switch off the load 2 or 3 or 4, if user required it, or like user wanted to do it, he can control this by clicking here the switches on and off. This data will be received by ESP8266, and after that, that data will be sent to channel number 2 again. Here the channel number 2, like it will receive the data from ESP8266, and this channel number 2 data will be again read by this MATLAB function block, and then after signal conditioning it will send data to the circuit breaker, so that the controlling will be done. The whole objective of this project is to do like to test the substation at different conditions. Like we can include here faults also by using this library browser, where we can browse for faults. There we can like after using a block fault, we can include the fault in the system. After including the fault, the system will change, like the system act differently, and the current values on voltage parameter values, everything will change. So depending upon the like conditions, the system will behave in different ways. In ESP8266, if you write a program, depending upon the type of fault we have to analyze, the fault analyzation will also be done remotely. Here you can see three-phase fault. If you take this three-phase fault block here and connect to three lines and include three different faults, like symmetric, non-symmetric faults, you can send symmetric and non-symmetric faults from this. Our objectives are: first, monitoring, controlling, and protecting. Monitoring will be done in thingspeak channel number 1, and protection will be done by ESP8266 by checking different set values we set. And now the controlling is using blynk application which done the controlling. So this is the whole project. You can check this, you can check the links for this simulation and overall programming for ESP8266 in description block. Thank you for listening my video. Please like, subscribe, and share.